Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Radio podcast. And I know a lot of you want to know personal things. You want to know about history. And every once in a while, you want interviews. And I had to bring as one of my very first interviews that we're going to be posting in this new era of Kempire Radio with one of my real life friends and fellow entrepreneur, Silent BX is in the building. Silent, what's going on? I'll add this up. Wait. Like I don't have sound effects sitting right here. First of all, I think people want to know, first of all, they want to know more about me. That's what people keep telling me. We want to know more about you. They want to be all up in my business, Silent.
I believe it. They want to know.
Lord.
Relating to you.
But I mentioned you when we got our plaque, there for 100,000 subscribers on Kempire Daily. But I mentioned you because you're one of my longtime friends. It's been almost, Kempire Radio is almost 15 years old. We've known each other as long as that. So,
106 in Park days.
Oh my God. Remember 106 in Park?
Yes.
So I've known Silent a very long time. And when we talk about kitchen table talk, this is one of the people that I go to and we have kitchen table talk. We talk about the industry. We talk about celebrities. We talk about you. We have real conversations. So I had to, as one of my real conversations, like I'm able to tell Silent, you need to do this, you need to do that. And he was able to like, I don't think you should do that. Right. I'm probably going to call this kitchen table talk with Silent. Okay.
Where my snack?
Silent loves to eat, y'all. But I love to eat too. Do you have the cake nearby or no?
It's in the kitchen, but we could bring it out later.
Yeah, we could bring it out later. Well, Silent has done many things, but as I said to you before, I call him an entrepreneur. But Silent, how would you describe what you do?
You know what's funny? For years, I've always had that issue, not knowing what do I, like when people ask me, well, what do you do? I'm just kind of like, what do I do? I do so much, but I'm going to go with what you said. Today, from moving on forward, I'm going to say that.
Honestly, now that I've moved into this journey of being an entrepreneur and quitting my corporate job, I'm getting that question. I feel like I get that question a lot now. What do you do for work? How do I describe it? Because I don't want to say, I'm a YouTuber. Nothing wrong with saying that, but I don't do just YouTube. Like this podcast, I do a lot of different things. So, and you and I have had this conversation before about, like, how would you describe what we do? Like, I always say this, we are entrepreneurs.
We are.
In the raw sense of it.
And can I be real with you?
Mm-hmm.
I always have an issue saying that word. I'm
Why?
like, entrepreneur.
Oh, you mean literally trying to say the word? I thought maybe you were just having an emotional reaction to it.
No. Yeah, it's so funny. Entrepreneur.
Yeah, there you go.
And lessons on Kempire's podcast.
Look, and now it has to roll off the tongue because that is exactly what you are. You are not just a videographer. You've had a blog. You've been out there with the paparazzi. Can we just talk a little bit about your dabble into entertainment? Because it's been literally years.
Right. By the way, guys, if you hear background noise, I'm in the Bronx visiting my family, and that's the Bronx for you. But anyway,
we keep it real.
What do I say? Wow. I did True Exclusive, which was an entertainment blog. I used to like to say it was and this is no shade to TMZ. We love TMZ, but I used to say it was a positive version of TMZ. Like we didn't really try to tear down artists. It was just kind of to put artists in a positive light and show when their album went to #1 or they sold whatever, or they did something great here or a great performance. That's what started True Exclusives. Did that for about, 15 years.
Wow.
Why am I saying did? I still do
it. I know,
it.
you're about to say, like, the blog is still there.
I still do it, but I've been branching off in the last couple of years, doing other things and documenting and traveling and that sort of stuff.
A lot of documenting, a lot of traveling. I mean, you traveled with Brandy around the world, including Japan, Africa. It's been a lot, and you have some of the best Brandy interviews, probably because you've been following Brandy for how long?
I think we officially started, I've known her way longer, but we officially started filming in 2011, 10.
Wow, wow. And I remember that time because you weren't, this is when you were first delving into being, a videographer and things like that.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to how far that's come to the point where now you have several documentaries that you're working on. But I mean, am I lying?
And we talk about it a lot because I'm just like, how, and how, like how, but that's just how the universe works. It started with me wanting to help Brandy and telling her you need some behind the scenes content, and she's like, you keep saying this, why don't you do it? And I was like, okay, whatever.
You just did it.
And I just did it, and I just fell in love with. I mean, I've always loved documentaries, but I just fell in love with documenting and getting those very intimate, private moments. Like I always feel like I want to be a person's journal in video form.
That's deep.
Yeah, it don't get no deeper than that.
And we don't really have, I mean, most recently, the most recent music documentary that we got was the Kanye one. I don't know if you've watched it yet. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. It's good?
No. I want to watch it.
I hear it's really good. But that also, and I told you when you started doing the documentary, I said, I know you wanted to put it out like, immediately. And I was like, well, sometimes these documentaries take years to build on and tell that story. And that's exactly what you've been doing. I mean, like I said, you have several documentaries that you're currently working on. I know you have a lot of footage with Brandy. The stars, Brandy's fans love when you do interviews with her. And I know they're awaiting another interview with her. Any update on that when we might get something?
Well, we've been working on it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been maybe like since B8. B7, excuse me.
B8's coming.
Already ready for the next album. And it's not like I haven't seen her, I haven't been around her, I haven't filmed her, but it's just having the moment to sit down and really,
Yeah.
So, but it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, most definitely. And there's a lot of footage. I remember when Brandy was in Chicago and you were documenting that entire thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone could be a documentary.
That alone is, yeah. Yeah, we've got some. I can't wait for the day because I know it's going to be incredible. Like, especially for a Brandy fan, it's going to be like, and just even if you're not a Brandy fan, as seeing a real life musician and the things they go through and the ups and the downs and the recovering from certain things, and it's just going to be incredible.
And Brandy doesn't get the respect. I think now people are starting to really give her the respect. Billboard just called her the vocal Bible, even though we've been calling her that for years. But behind the scenes, Brandy is a beast when it comes to when she's focused on something.
Beast.
And now she's busy. She's busy again. She's in Canada filming a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So Brandy has a lot coming up, but that's not the only artist that it started with Brandy, but then you went into documenting other artists. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I know one of the artists who has since passed away, that was an incredible journey because I remember following you on that journey in regards to documenting his music and his career.
Yeah, his name was Hooligan Rad Guitar 5. He was a rapper from New York City, and he struggled with mental illness and depression, and yeah, I was documenting him for about, wow, how many months? Maybe 5 to 6 months before he passed away.
Wow.
He committed suicide.
Wow.
So I have everything leading up to it, and just that journey of just aside from the mental stuff, just the journey of someone from the hood trying to make it and having a dream and working hard and working through mental health and depression and poverty and whatever it is, the struggles that it takes to,
especially in the music industry.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a couple of years now. I think it's been 4 years or 5. Wow. It's crazy how fast time just flies.
Wow.
But everything is timing. and it's just timing. That's all I can really say. It's gonna happen though, and I'm excited to show that. And I was honored to be chosen to be a vessel for him to share his story. You know, his
Mm,
message was always, "Don't ever kill yourself."
mm,
Ironic, but I
yeah.
think it's gonna inspire a lot of people when they see that.
Wow. Wow. We talked a little bit about, it's so funny when you posted the photo of you, Mariah, and Brandy, the news this week, with Mariah's release of her master class, which is, anyone that's a master at anything, they go to this platform to teach other people. So
Right.
that's when the news came out that Brandy and Mariah redid her classic song, The Roof. So this is something that you have been keeping under the cuff for how long?
It's been months.
Damn.
It's been months.
They lucky
And
they lucky that you are literally silent.
right, right. Um,
Can
and
you
that's
just tell us a bit
I'm
about,
bad,
because I know you
you know what
can't
I
say a
mean? Like,
lot. You can't say a lot. However, can you tell us, because as I said to you before, you've been doing this a very long time and you've been following celebrities and photographing celebrities for a very long time. So you have the receipts of old photos of you and Mariah. So Mariah, I don't know if she remembered you when she saw you, but you actually have
no, man.
you have photos with Mariah from back
Yeah,
in the day. What
yeah.
was that
It's
moment
funny. The
like?
other day, I was randomly. I like to go on YouTube and watch interviews and performances. Like, and even if I've seen the performances 900 times, I still like to see them because they're my favorite.
Hmm.
For some reason, I went to see Mariah's Today Show performance, and I see myself in the audience taking pictures. It was hilarious, but it was the Rainbow Era.
Wait, sidebar. You're also in the Brandy movie. I only found this out, I think, in the last 2 years or the last year that you're in that movie. What's the movie again?
Double platinum.
Double
Yeah.
Platinum. You're like, yeah, I'm in the audience. I've known you for 15 years. Why am I just finding this out?
That's hilarious. But yeah, so going back to the Mariah, and yeah, I was there. So I would just, that was the beginning, the birth, I think, of true exclusives. And just going around the city, it was a normal thing for fans to be outside of talk shows, hotels. It wasn't called stalking, even though it sounds crazy, but that's what we did. So I would see everybody, even if I was just a little bit of a fan of you, I would just go because. But
Wow.
Mariah, there was three female artists that I just loved. Started with Whitney,
Mm,
then it was Mariah, and then it was Brandy, and that's the order that they came out.
mm,
Those three were always my top three, like my pyramid.
yeah. Your
And so
trifecta.
anytime Mariah would have an event or something, if I was available, I was going. And
Wow.
so I've seen her so many times, and she's always been nice. She was always and I will never forget. I would always, maybe in the beginning, I would always be shocked because you think Mariah Carey, and you just don't think you're even gonna get to be able to get near to such an iconic artist.
Mm-hmm.
I would put her up there with like the Michaels and the
Mm.
Prince, and she was like I would meet so many people, and it would be people who have one album out, and they would be the most bougiest celebrities you have ever met
We
in
could
life,
tell you stories, y'all.
right? Mariah was always so nice to her fans, and I just couldn't believe it. But then as time go on, I grew to realize she had that connection. She's talked about her Lamberley and
And she
all of
talks
that.
about it in the book, her
Yeah,
recent memoir. She talks about
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And that was a good way of her to talk about it because she really went in depth of why she connects with them and feeling like they were really the only ones that were there for her.
Yeah. So because you have a lot of stories, and I know you're going to start on your TikTok talking about some of the stories of the people that you've met. And you told me some of the stories over the years, like when you met Aaliyah. That's a really great story. There's so many really great stories. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Aaliyah story now?
Sure. I was waiting for another unnamed artist. Why did that look very Wendy?
Right? I was like, what?
And we were at the hotel. Remember, this was a normal thing. And I remember for some reason this hotel was really nice to me and my friend. Like the what do you call it? Not the doorman. The front desk person was like, "Yo, y'all could come sit down at couch inside and everything. So we
Wow.
was like, oh, okay. So we chilling on the couch in the lobby. And a girl comes out of the elevator, and I'm looking, and she's looking at me, and we just kind of staring at each other. And I'm like, but nothing. You just staring.
Okay.
She comes out, and I'm like, and then she walks out. Okay. Lobby guy comes running. I mean, front desk guy comes running like, yo, that was Aaliyah. And we're like, that was not Aaliyah. He's like, I'm telling you, that was Aaliyah or whatever. So we run outside. She's gone. We even went up the block to see if we could find her. But I was like, you know what? She coming back. We gonna wait. So we waited. She came back, and I just was like, Aaliyah, can I get a picture? And she let me. I wish I would have took the picture with her. I don't know what I was
Oh, you
thinking.
just
I just took
I
one
did that one time when I met Deborah Cox, but she was with her kid, and I was coming out of my job, and I saw her. It was in Soho, and I was because I didn't want to be weird, so I said, "Let me just take a picture." Asking her to take a picture, I didn't just take a be weird like people do nowadays. But she was with her kid, so I didn't want to be like, "Hey, Deborah Cox," and I'm not that person. We're New Yorkers. We don't. You're not like, "Oh my God, let me take a picture." But wow.
So she let me take the picture. I got her autograph like on a plain white paper. She asked our name, where we were from, what we were doing it. She was so nice. She had no makeup, and she was gorgeous. I remember thinking she was gorgeous. And
What era was this? Was this age ain't nothing but number?
No, it might have been. I don't know. That's a good question. It had to be
In between around then.
because I didn't really start going out doing this till like 97, 98. So
Okay.
I guess 1 in a Million era.
Okay. Wow.
Right before it was coming out, yeah.
So R. Kelly was out of the picture. Sorry. All right. Well, you're going to tell more stories like this because, as I said to you before, guys, Silent has a lot of celebrity pictures, and I'm sure so many stories that I don't even know about. So I'm going to look for, and you're going to be posting that on your TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But can we just backtrack back to Mariah? So as I said to you guys before, Silent has a few pictures with Mariah, but there is a new picture that you posted on your social media.
I'm actually wearing this shirt in the picture. I just realized that. I'm going to claim this as my lucky shirt.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Mariah would not be pictured in the same outfit twice. I am very disappointed in you right now.
Well, I ain't got Mariah money yet.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the comment that I left, and I don't even know if you got what I was saying in that comment. Was that this picture? I don't think people realize how iconic it's going to be in a few years. You're literally in the middle of Mariah and Brandy. We've said this, offline, that Brandy doesn't get the respect that she deserves as for what she's done for the industry, and Mariah doesn't get the credit she deserves for the songwriter that she is, the producer that she is. But just tell me, because you followed Brandy for such a long time, you're already, very good friends with her. But now you're meeting another person, one woman from your trifecta. What was running through your mind?
It's so crazy because it happened months ago and I still can't believe it. Like, I think I'm just going to always be in that 15-year-old mind when I had Mariah and Brandy and all of them on my wall.
Yeah.
Just daydreaming about these sort of things,
Yeah.
And for it to happen was just, I've always wanted Brandy to work with Mariah. I've always, it's crazy because my top 2 R&B albums of all time are Butterfly and Full Moon.
Wow.
Favorite song off of Butterfly has always been The Roof. Like, I was obsessed. To me, that's one of the most intricate R&B songs of all time. Like, you can literally get lost just in that song. Is just everything. So wow. I didn't even know that was the song till we got there.
And the universe, I tell you.
I was like I could have died right there. I could have just. I probably did for a couple of minutes. Knock on wood. But
And it's so funny that you're even talking about those are your favorite albums, because this year they're selling 25 years of Butterfly, 20 years of Full Moon.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow.
We're old.
Wow. So yeah, just to be literally inches from them and there's like nobody in the room. It was like a private moment, and I'm there watching it as it's happening. So I'm in my own oh my godness, but I'm also in the oh my godness of this is my friend who I know loves Mariah too, and me as a as a fan of Brandy the artist, always wanting her to kind of have that respect and work with this other legend.
Yeah.
So I'm in that madness. So it's just a lot of madnesses, but it was just incredible. I was honored to be there. So grateful,
That was
to
really
Mariah.
pretty dope of Brandy to even think of you to like, I know how much you love her, come be a part of this moment.
Right, right. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm forever grateful for that. And Mariah too could have been like, no, we don't want nobody in the room. You know what I mean? So even for her allowing it, it was just incredible moment I won't ever forget. And I'm so happy it was recorded because not only I get to keep my moment, I call it my moment because I was there, but everyone gets to see it too and experience it. And I'm so glad. And just the masterclass in general from Mariah Carey,
Yeah.
that's
And the
crazy.
membership is not that bad because at first we were like, "Oh, how much is a membership for this thing?" Because
Right.
I'm like, "Do I really want to do this?" But it's really affordable to get the depth of knowledge that you're getting from some of the people that are a part of it. They're not paying us, y'all, but they should.
They should.
I'm just saying. But I'm interested seeing them work together and work out harmonies, and I'm like, okay, all right, I see you guys.
Yeah.
But moving away from that, you have really I've seen the evolution of what you've done, going from being in the streets, taking pictures and getting, exclusives and things like that, to now building your YouTube channel, True Exclusives, to almost 200,000 subscribers with a lot of really great content that's happening on social media. Like it's literally the place you go for what's happening on social media. Now to building I'm going to start all over. I'm going to start a new YouTube channel. And you already know what that journey is like. I'm going to start a new YouTube channel about traveling. Can you tell me why you decided to do that? To start over.
Asked me that recently, and I don't really know how I started it, but I'm guessing documenting because I did the La Perla Puerto Rico documentary,
Yep.
which is a slum area in Puerto Rico that I did like a 8-year documentary on. It's not out
Oh
yet,
my
but
God,
I'm
8
working.
year.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's one of the documentaries Kemp was saying earlier that I have a whole bunch. But so in that and just trying to get the real, when people travel, they post a picture at the beach, they post a picture at the tourist spot.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to dig deeper, kind of like I tell you, the journal as the camera, and I just want to see real life around the world and see what that's like. And I'm like, well, I want to share it with people too. I know people like watching that. I do. I look it up on YouTube and other people are watching it. So I think it kind of started that way. And I said, well, I'm going to start a travel channel, start from scratch. And, I'm literally starting from scratch because I'm like struggling trying to get followers on the new page.
Yeah.
But it's a climb,
Yeah.
and it's kind of about the journey anyway when you
Yep.
do what you do, and I've come to realize that years later. In the beginning, it was always like, I want to get here. I want to get to this, whatever this is. But as you get through it, you're like, oh no, it was all about all the little steps, all the experiences, all the feelings, all the emotions. And in getting to, I wouldn't even say the finish line, just kind of, what would I say?
The next goal, maybe.
Yeah, the next goal.
Because
So yeah,
literally,
that's how it started. Just wanting to get the real life of different countries around the world and things like that. And it's been fun,
because literally when I went back and I said, I want to build up on Kempire Daily, moving away from Kempire Radio, I don't even remember what that transition was like. And I'm glad that I didn't think too much about it because I started building on TikTok and then I said, oh, let me move on over to YouTube. I don't know what made me do that. And here we are. But your YouTube channel, Travel with Silent, and I know you've also launched that on TikTok as well. You've been around the world, as I said to you guys before. Silent has traveled with Brandy to Japan, Africa, all types of places. But you recently did a trip to Egypt, and you documented that, and there's a lot of footage, and you're about to release some of that footage. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what you're planning?
Yeah, I went to Egypt for my birthday in October, and I stayed for a month. I really wanted to. I didn't want to rush. I didn't want to. I just wanted to experience it and experience everyday life, and also experience some of the tourist stuff as well. Um, so yeah, I have all that footage. I've been editing for the last about 5 months. I'm
Wow.
almost done. I don't want to release anything until I'm at least close to being done.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes a thing of, that pressure of, oh God, I gotta, at least if everything's done, I can just start putting them out or whatever. So that's coming up, the Egypt series. I'm excited. I was watching some clips yesterday, showing my mom some of the edits, and it never gets old. Like, you experienced it, you were there, you filmed it, you see it, you edited it, you're watching it, but it still felt like the first time I went. So I'm excited for people to.
And you wanted to go to Egypt for a while now. When you
Oh,
actually did it, was it everything that you expected, or was it more?
it was beyond what I expected, and the universe is funny like that. Like, I always knew it was gonna be a great trip,
Mm.
and I guess that's a part of manifestation, just knowing and putting that out there. But you of course have that little sense of, well, damn, what if it's not like that? What if something? But I just kind of try to push that aside, and I was like, no, this is going to be an amazing trip. I'm going to meet amazing people, and I did. I met so many. I still keep in contact with these people. They hit me up all the time, send me little videos, try to FaceTime, and I'm like, not today. I'm busy. Because the time difference is so. Even though I'm up late night all the time, but it's
Yeah.
just way different.
But that's
Yeah,
always
it'll
great. And I
be.
always say traveling is its own education. And if you haven't gotten into look, traveling's not for everyone, but I highly suggest it for people, because to me it's such a personal development that you get from traveling, especially when you go beyond, the Caribbean islands, and you know what I mean? A lot of people that's where they go. No shade, but if you really want to step out of your cultural comfort zone, that's what you should do. Go to those other places and do that. And I'm already starting to plot and plan a trip to Egypt, but also I want to do the rest of Africa, but that's going to take me a lifetime. But I'm going
And
to
if
do
you
it.
can't travel, people, go to our pages because we're gonna show you it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially you, because I'm not a travel influencer. I just post photos of where I've went. I have so many photos that I've not, even videos that I have not posted
I
or
know. I
shared.
remember.
So many stuff. But because you are in the same realm of entertainment talk, let's talk about some hot topics that have been going on in the news. Breaking news last night, although sources are now saying that this story is not true, but let's pretend that it is true. Rihanna allegedly has broken up with A$AP Rocky because he cheated on her with a shoe designer. I'm not going to say the shoe designer just because they're saying it's not true, and that's not good for her. However, do you think Drake is the one who's spreading this rumor?
Oh my god. I already saw the memes of Drake writing her like. uh, no, I don't think it's Drake spreading the rumor. I don't think it's true, but you just never know.
I mean,
You just
Jay-Z cheated
never
on
know.
Beyonce,
Yeah, you just never know. But I tell you one thing: if he did, he's a stupid mother effer.
right? What is A$AP Rocky doing right now? Has he put out new music?
No, I don't think so.
I think a lot of people don't like this relationship because they don't feel that's the type of person she should have ended up with. But we don't
Right.
know these people. For all we know, he's a great guy despite his colorist comments. Um,
Like my friend, we recently had this conversation where she was like, "Well, what about she had that billionaire? Why would she leave him?" And then I'm like, "You're talking as if you know what you don't know if he was beating her. You don't know if he was cheating on her. I'm just saying we don't know what
well,
happened there.
why did you have to go to that extreme? He could just have a terrible personality.
All those things, and maybe ASAP was the one who is giving her everything she's ever wanted in her relationship.
And they were friends. They were friends before,
It's not always about money and looks. Not that he's an ugly man,
No, he's good looking.
ASAP. But I'm just saying, like, people just think, oh, she should have been with a billionaire. No, you don't know what the.
Look at Janet. She was with a billionaire. That didn't work out either. I mean, look, we know people with money. People with money aren't usually the nicest. Just
Exactly.
saying.
So let's just hope the rumor is not true, though.
Well, according to sources, I've seen the update today is that they're saying that the story is not true. But very much like we were talking about, what you used to do on your blog, what you currently do on your blog. People run with these stories. All it takes is one person to put it out there and then people to run with it.
That's a scary. It's kind of, we're in a little scary time right now where you can literally just tweet something and the world will run with it.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. I just don't get it.
But the problem with that is that a lot of celebrities, and this too, is that they will feed that stuff out too, purposely, depending on what narrative they want to spin. I see it all the time with the housewives. They want people to get excited about the show. People like Bravo, people like Andy Cohen, they want people to get excited about a show. So they'll leak things through producers and sources. So sometimes I kind of like, yeah, it could be the blog, but it's also the production companies. It's the publicists.
And we've heard about some celebrities themselves DMing blogs or sending.
Very friendly with blogs. They try to get friendly with us too. I'm sure you've had some people try to get they purposely want to have you in their pocket. And I'm just like, no, I'm good.
Exactly.
I want to be able to shade people freely. Just saying. Just saying. Will Smith and Chris Rock. I know people are like, oh my God, we're still talking about this almost a month later? Yes. Because I know you're a big fan of Will Smith. How did you feel about the slap heard around the world?
The crazy thing is, I'm like, shit. He can't go to the Oscars for 10 years, and I've been manifesting that he was going to give me my best documentary Oscar. He was going to present it. Like, I've just, that's my manifestation. And okay. I'm like, that means I can't win one for 10 years. Well, then again, he could present my second one. Or third or fourth.
Exactly. See, I hope you guys are paying attention to the way that Silent and I speak when we talk about manifesting and we talk about the universe, because this is exactly what we have been doing for years. But it's true. You think in your mind, oh my God, that means he can't. But no, that could be your second Oscar.
And I was literally, as I'm reading, he cannot pretend. And I'm like,
you're thinking about yourself.
But that's the power of manifestation, that you already believe. It's going to happen. What do you mean it's not going to happen within 10 years? But yeah, I'm glad I corrected it. It could be my second, third, fourth, fifth Oscar.
But what was your reaction to that? First of all, when you heard about the slap, I know you were watching it at the time, right?
Yeah, I was watching. I don't always watch the Oscars in full.
A lot of people don't. That's why the ratings are suffering.
But for some, I was going to say, but for some reason, but I remember why. It was because of Regina King and Wanda Sykes.
Wait. Not Amy Schumer?
Sure. I don't really know nothing about Amy, but she was going to be there, so I had no choice, but I was there for Regina and Wanda. I love Regina. Yeah. So I watched from the beginning just to see what the monologue would be, the feeling, and it just kept flowing really nicely, and I was entertained. I wasn't bored. I didn't feel like changing the channel. I literally stayed through the whole thing, and I could not believe it. It was literally one of the best Oscars telecast ever.
Wow.
And my man Will Smith had to go and F it up. So yeah, when it happened, it was like,
did you believe it?
I thought it was a planned thing,
at
first. Then he walks back. He even kind of snickered, like a and I'm like, and he sat down and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, wait, this is real? And yeah, so yeah. Oh my God, wow. I just feel like it was a accumulation of the buildup of the whole last year, ever since the whole entanglement thing, and people
Mm,
just kind of poking the bear. And celebrities are supposed to just,
take
they're
it.
not supposed to, but they're supposed to live up to that image and smile for the camera 24 hours a day. So I think all the little jokes, the social media, the memes, just everything, even as recently with what's her name? Uh uh Orange is the New Black. Oh my
Oh,
god.
oh my gosh.
Right?
It's
Uh
Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox. Yes. That was just recently the red carpet moment they had. Uh and he smile. So I think that might have just been a moment where it's like I was saying on social media, I think on Twitter, or maybe it was just in my mind. It's like someone who has a bully at school,
Mm,
getting bullied and bullied. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. Do nothing. And one day a kid comes and just pushes them,
it's that.
and they snap
So
and black
it's
out. They
Laverne's
get
fault.
all out on that person. So I feel like that's what happened to him in that moment. It was just
So you're blaming Laverne.
no, no, no. But I just think it was that moment of this mother, and just went up there. And because if you see it, he did the celebrity smile, ha ha ha, funny. But then when he saw Jada's face, it wasn't funny anymore.
But there
You
have been a
know,
lot of people blaming Jada, and I feel like that's so wrong. Why are
it
we
is
blaming Jada for the actions of a grown man?
it is wrong. But if people read the book too, which I haven't finished his book yet,
Mm.
but
The sales are up for his book, which is
oh, I
interesting.
believe it. I believe it. All publicity, even if it's bad publicity, I won't say all publicity is good publicity, but even bad publicity is publicity. People are
Ask
nosy.
Tasha K.
Oh Lord. So, um, oh, uh, what was I saying?
We were
Oh, the
talking.
book.
Yeah.
If you read the book, that's kind of the whole. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? The whole surface of it.
Mm,
His mother getting beat, and him watching and not being able to protect her. So now he
yeah.
wants to protect all these women around him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's unfortunate that it had to happen at the Oscars, though.
Do you think? Well, I mean, obviously, you probably do think that he is going to be able to bounce back from this because you're saying that he's going to present you with your Oscar, your second Oscar. So do you think that he'll be able to bounce back from this? Because there have been a lot of things that he's lost. Well, been put on hold. I wouldn't say lost.
Uh oh, I thought you were gonna do something over.
No.
Oh
No. My question is: do you think that he will be able to bounce back from this?
yeah, I think he'll be able to bounce back. Um, can he get nominated for an Oscar in the 10
That
years?
is a question that I was just asking when I think a couple of episodes ago. I was asking the same question. If he's not a part of the Academy, I don't know. I don't know if there's been any clarification on that, whether or not he can be nominated. I know he definitely can't attend, even if he is nominated. And if he wins, he can't even accept it virtually.
Ooh.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, I think he'll bounce back. Um, yeah, he just needs this to be all over in a couple of months.
wait till
Give
we
it a
have to
year,
wait for
it'll
someone
really be
else.
over. And the right movie, you know. And it sucks because the last that I heard, because I've been following, one of my favorite books is The Alchemist.
Mm,
Following that journey because they're trying to make it into a book. And the last I heard was Will and Jada's production company was going to do it, and they were
wow.
supposed to start filming in Morocco. So I think now that's put on hold, or it might not even be happening anymore.
Is
So it
that an
sucks.
exclusive that we didn't even talk about?
Don't quote me. I'm just saying.
Everything is alleged, but I don't think anyone knew that.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
if you
we did
dig,
talk about. I did report that there were several production things that that he's producing that might be put on hold because of everything. But I didn't know he had The Alchemist as being
he'll
one of the
bounce
things.
back. Look at Monique and the exclusive you got with Monique and Lee Daniels. 13 years, but she about to be in a movie. She got that apology and that validation of what she's been trying to say all these years. So he'll be all right.
Let's talk about Monique, because I was going to. It's so funny that you even said that, because I was going to ask you about Monique, because you've interviewed Monique. You actually have a, I don't want to say friendship. Would you say friendship? I don't know.
No, I would say friendliness ship. What is that?
An association? Like she's an associate?
Yeah.
Okay. What can you tell us about Monique? Because Monique has been under fire for a lot. I got to see her live. You've seen her live a couple of times. And she is a force. So I understand she has, when they talk about the it factor, she has that. Of course, we've seen her play so many different roles, from comedy to serious. She's won the Oscar, but we also have seen her tell us to boycott Netflix, but she's making a big return to Netflix with her best friend that she was fighting with publicly. And now she's sort of back. Like, what were your thoughts on all of that happened before, and now here we are?
I mean, it was unfortunate. And on one hand, you feel like, is she holding herself back by keeping this going, so to say? Mm-hmm. But then on the other hand, it's that whole integrity thing, and she's standing in what she believes in. Wow. So you have to applaud someone who doesn't give a shit and is like, no, this is what it is. This is what I want. And if you're not going to do it, you're not going to apologize. I'm not going to move on. And plus, it was a friendship. She was probably hurt too. Wow. It's a lot of factors.
She didn't care about Oprah and Tyler Perry. She cared about her best friend.
Right. So, yeah, but I'm glad, I'm so glad that happened, and that he also did it publicly too. Yeah. Because it's one thing to hash it and whatever. Like when it was announced that they were going to do the movie, I'm like, is this an April Fool joke? It was April
he literally said that too on stage, because he was like, is this for April Fools?
And but for him to do it on stage too was good too, because it's like you kind of played me publicly, so yeah, apologize to me publicly.
Do you think that was a stipulation though for her? Because she did say that to Tyler Perry, that she wanted a public apology.
Right. It might have been, who knows?
But he did.
He did it. Ass
crack, hanging out and all.
Oh my God. Well, you got the exclusive on that one.
Just say it. Okay. All right. Monique, because you have interviewed her before, and because you have interviewed so many people behind the scenes, like, who is besides Brandy, who is like your favorite celebrity that you've interacted with or interviewed?
Wow.
And why?
Oh my God.
Because a lot of people would think, oh, Kempire, your best interview and your most memorable interview had to be Oprah. I mean, I loved it. It was a monumental moment.
Of course.
My favorite interview, it probably isn't a celebrity.
It's so crazy you're saying that, because in my mind, I'm thinking of this fisherman I interviewed in Puerto Rico. Same. And it was just one of my favorites. So I'm going to go with him.
Okay. And why?
He's been fishing for 70 years. Mm-hmm. He was 82 when I interviewed him.
Wow.
And just kind of getting to know his story and the passion he had about fishing and conservation. And I'm not even into that stuff. So for him to have me all ears, and just talking about how his love for fishing kept him away from his family. And his wife died, his son died. So he regretted having all these moments. I mean, obviously he lived with them and stuff, but there were so many moments he couldn't get back. But yeah, that was one of my favorite interviews. You're right.
What is one of your favorite celebrity interviews?
Oh God.
I'll tell you mine. One of my favorite celebrity interviews, and it's my most popular interview on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, is with Latasha Scott from Escape. It was before they made amends with her and Candy and the rest of the group. I had a good conversation with her, because she was the things with, and this as an interviewer, they have to come to play. If they don't come to play, the interview is not going to go well. If it's too much question answer and it's not a conversation, it's not great for you. It's not great for them, and it's not great for the audience. And Oprah too. That will always be a memorable interview because that's been a mentor and someone I've looked up to for a very long time. And I've said I manifested that interview. Didn't realize it was going to happen then, but
Right.
yeah. But she understands that too. So that interview was so easy for me because she understands how to have a conversation. You know, there's so many people, and I know I've had plenty of interviews with celebrities, and it's just like, oh my God, this is so awkward. Or they talk too much. It's not a conversation.
Right. Tiffany Evans.
Ooh, I've interviewed Tiffany. Why Tiffany?
And it happened. It was for two reasons. One, because she came to play, and two, it happened at that moment of me shifting because I was getting tired of the fluffy interviews and just you have an album out. I mean, that's all good, and this and this, just kind of talking to talk, not really like
A
tell
conversation.
me. Yeah, like I want to know: are you in bed crying? Why you were in bed crying for a day or whatever? Like
Yeah.
get me deep. And she went there with me, and I was able to film her with her kids. Her kids hadn't really been seen
Yeah.
or anything like that. So that was a beautiful moment, and I like that interview. So yeah, we'll go with that one.
I don't know if I've
You
even
can look
seen
it up.
that interview.
Yeah,
I have to check that
and she
interview
talked
out.
about Whitney Houston having moments with Whitney, mentoring her on the phone, and it was a really good interview. Yeah.
Wow. I like Tiffany a lot, and I feel like Tiffany still has not had the career for the amount of talent that she has. For those that don't remember who Tiffany Evans is, that's it's Promise Ring, right? Promise
Right, yeah.
Ring, and she was mentored by Ciara. Like she was supposed to be like the next it girl, but her voice, Promise Ring
Even
doesn't
in
highlight her voice.
one of the Medea movies, Tyler Perry movies, the little girl. Yeah.
Incredibly talented. I'm going to link people to your interview because I'm going to also watch it too because I'm like, wait, did I miss that interview? Because I don't remember. But who knows? How long ago was that interview?
Wow. It was a while ago. I don't remember the year, but it was a while ago.
Well, Silent, I appreciate you. This was like really last minute, y'all, and because I was like, oh, wait, we should do an interview because we're now doing a live video version. Even though, and you know this, we were doing live video versions before it was a thing. we just we just didn't record it. We just didn't record it because if you listen to my Oprah interview, she was like, "Is that you in the white T-shirt?" Because it was a video version.
Yeah.
So we did this on the last minute, but Silent is a pro, so he's like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. So I appreciate you doing this on the last minute. What's coming up for you? What should people be looking out for?
Oh man. Well,
A
first
lot.
of all, appreciate you having me apart all the time. Congrats on that. I keep looking at the plaque right there behind. So dope. And yeah, I have the Egypt series coming soon to Travel with Silent. I also filmed a whole series in the Bronx, which was the first summer in the Bronx after the pandemic. I wanted to really document that. What's that? You got ghosts in your house?
No, my Siri went off.
Oh,
Stop.
no. You want me to do it over? Okay. So, after the whole pandemic and all the stuff we went through, I was like, I need to document the Bronx, just where I'm from. I'm talking about traveling the world and showing the world. Why not show where I'm from and show that it's not, because people talk bad about the Bronx too.
Mm.
It's not all bad. Yeah, you have bad parts, but there are good parts. There's good people. There's a lot of community. So I'm showing a lot. Like I filmed the Bronx for 3 months in the summer last year.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, that's going to come after the Egypt series for Travel with Silent. And of course, I got stuff coming with True Exclusive, interviews coming. Stay tuned.
And people are waiting on that Brandy interview.
I just want to let people know watching, just if you're going through anything, you're going through depression, just know tomorrow's another day. And if tomorrow is the same, the day after is another day. It's a journey. Because I'm still, for some of your viewers who might have followed me too, and for those who haven't, I've had a long journey with depression, and it's still ongoing, but it's just going for the ride, man. That's you just got to go for the ride and find out what works for you. And if that doesn't work, try other things, and eventually you'll get there. But today is a great day, and just want to send all that positive energy out to everyone watching.
Amen. Amen. Silent, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much for being here for only the second video version of our podcast. We appreciate you. And guys, as always, all of Silent's information, his YouTube channels, go support. Let's get him. Are you at 1,000 on Travel with Silent yet on YouTube?
No, I need to, please.
Let's get Silent, because we have a strong family here. Let's get Silent to over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'll post all of his social media in the description of this video and in the podcast.